Visual Studio 2017 version 15.3 changes. With this version of Visual Studio 2017, Microsoft has made some changes to the way we create projects. In this lecture, I want to show you the new way to create a C program using the latest Visual Studio 2017. As you can see on my screen, I have updated my Visual Studio Community 2017 to the latest 15.3.2 as of this recording. Note that the previous steps are still valid if you're using a version smaller than 15.3. Even if you're using Visual Studio 2015 or earlier, the steps in the lectures should still be valid. So now let's jump into Visual Studio 2017 and see how we can create a new C project, a Hello World project, using the new interface in Visual Studio. Okay, so here I am on Visual Studio, making sure that this is version 15.3.2 as you can see. Now let's go ahead and create a new Hello World project in C. So click on File, New Project. From this window, you will see there are slightly different templates. If you go to Visual C++, now you can see we have console application, Windows desktop application, and empty project. If you try to create a Windows console application this way, you no longer get the old wizard from Visual Studio. Instead, what it does now, it creates a C++ project for you without giving you the option to say, I want an empty project. Let me show you how you should create C projects from now on using this version of Visual Studio, and probably this is going to be valid for a while for the even newer versions. So simply go to Windows Desktop here. Now you can see there's a new option called Windows Desktop Wizard. This is the one we want to use from this point on. So click on this and let's call this our Hello World program. Click OK. Now you get this slightly modified wizard. As you can see, it says console application. That's what we want. Make sure you select empty project and uncheck precompiled headers because we don't want to use that. This is the recommended way from this point on to create a console application. And since we're doing an empty project, that will allow us to create a C program. So click OK. Here on my right, you can see that we have created an empty project. Now we simply right-click on source files, add a new item, and as we've done before in all the lectures, we simply say main.c or any file.c, and then click add. That should add your empty main.c file here. So now let's type up the include standard.io.h and void main, and we're going to simply print hello world on the screen. And as usual, to compile and run, hit Ctrl F5 on your keyboard. That should compile and run your program. We have successfully compiled here, and the output, as you can see, hello world, is on my screen. And this is simply how you create a project using the new version of 15.3, and probably higher versions will continue to do this until Microsoft changes the way they do this again. So again, you go to File, New Project. You make sure you have Windows Desktop, select the Windows Desktop wizard, give it the project name, click OK, then you get a wizard, a small wizard. Make sure you have empty project, don't use precompiled headers, simply click OK, and then you can create and add your C files into your project.